Chris Gore,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming on to Dadcast.
I
Really
appreciate it.
appreciate. Want to hear this letter?
Yeah, one last thing. So to give
Oh.
context to this, my son really wanted to leave home and he was kind of trapped. And he decided like he was going to, he really did a lot of investigation, decided he was going to join the Marines. So, and I wasn't going to see him. It would be the longest time that I had not seen him, like ever. Like I'd say, I mean, it was my son, grew up, you know, raised him. And there you go. So I sent it because I wasn't going to see him for Thanksgiving because he was at boot camp to become a Marine. So there you go. I won't read the whole thing. I'll just give you some of the highlights because it's a chunk. So, but I'll give it to you. It says, "Hello, son. Hope this letter makes it to you before Thanksgiving. We're all going to miss you a lot. I do hope you get to eat some turkey and watch some football. The Lions always play on Thanksgiving, so think of me if you're watching the game." Now, I would never pretend to know it all. I certainly don't know everything about everything. I'm not that arrogant. A lot of what I know is fairly worthless, unless I'm surrounded by movie geeks. But I've learned something about life in my years. What you'll read on the following is something I've been working on for quite some time. I wanted to give it to you on your birthday or some momentous occasion. But as you get close to finishing boot camp, perhaps some of these pieces of wisdom will come in handy, or at least give you some important things to think about. I hope you keep this particular letter to read in years to come, perhaps adding your own thoughts or amending mine to pass along to your own son someday. I love you, Dad. So, and then I basically typed out a list. And here's from that list. It says some important things you need to know, along with some tools to navigate through life. Take time to think. Just think. Others may call it meditation. I call it thinking. A time to relax your mind without distractions. You'll be surprised what you discover when distractions are held at bay and you can listen to yourself. Take your work seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. A sense of humor is not only disarming, it's a great way to make new friends. Strive to succeed, but never be afraid to fail. Demand excellence from yourself and others. The only leverage in negotiation, whether business or personal, is the ability to walk away. Make it look easy, and remember that people who are busy are incompetent. Being nice is an overrated virtue. Love fully and remember that when your heart breaks, it will mend. Girls are awesome. Sometimes in their presence, you will be powerless. Submit. The girl comes with a family. Make sure you really like them. When you lose someone you love, a part of them remains with you forever. Don't pretend it's not there just because you've moved on. Make money and then spend it. Give it to charity, but do it strategically. Never stand by and watch injustice. Do something. Political correctness is the enemy of truth. Stupidity should never be rewarded. Be a contrarian. You'll see things others don't. The only thing that ultimately exists are other people. Choose wisely who you spend your time with. Relationships with people are more important than money. If you are interested, you will be interesting. There may not be a God, but act as though there is. Sometimes life is the pursuit of the perfect sports coat. Life is so I'm just trying to say, give him some fashion advice. Whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. You hand over power to bullies by being affected by them. Don't ever give them the power. Smile, even when you do not feel like it. The smile will brighten your mood and those of others. Give something to the homeless, money, a drink, something. They'll appreciate it, and you'll build up good karma. If you respect others, they will give respect in return. Avoid debt. Use credit for convenience, but never build up a debt you can't pay. Seek out experiences. Avoid possessions. And then I put in parentheses, remember all my stuff in the garage? I'm still trying to get rid of it. Possessions can be a burden and one you'll want to avoid. It's not much longer, just a little bit more. Travel, see the world. It will open your mind in ways you never thought possible. Keep an open mind. Listen. Everyone appreciates a listener. And the best negotiating tactic is silence. Works every time. A long pause will usually create tension that will work in your favor. And then I said, use this Jedi power wisely. Women are a gift. Treasure the women who choose to spend their time with you. Peer pressure feeds on the weak-minded. A strong will puts the power of choice in your hands. And always remember, others may hate you, but those who hate you don't win unless you hate them. For only then will you destroy yourself.
I feel like this is some Jedi list. I love it.
This needs to be framed in the Louvre.
Well, and then I just said love Dad, and then P.S. And finally, this is a classic, because I used to tell my kids this all the time when I would drive them to school. I'd say, don't be an idiot and don't do stupid shit.
And if you do stupid shit, don't call me.
So that is something I sent to him. Knowing my son, I'm sure he still has that letter. And it was just like little pieces of advice that other people had given me, or I heard, or my dad heard. And like little, like, I mean, look, you can read books about one of those topics, but that last quote about others may hate you, that was a variation on a quote from Nixon when he left office. Like I never forgot that quote, because it ties into a lot of kind of what you do, even as being a public facing or being on YouTube. That quote, I want to repeat it because I think it's really important, and it's something that, like, because I'll put like positive affirmation, like just like things, not like, God, I had this girlfriend once that would buy like those dumb things that live life, love. Like all those cheesy, you get them at TJ Maxx.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah. It's wine o'clock, you know?
Yeah.
No, I like that one. Don't say anything bad.
Happy Halloween.
No, but okay, those are cheesy, but like I would literally, if I was going through a struggle time, I would write something on a Post-it, just put it on my monitor. Because you look at it and like I would take, like, this is something I learned like years ago, is I learned this from Olympic athletes. Olympic athletes would make a list of their goals and then they would put them in their wallet, because you look at your wallet every day, right? At least when we had physical wallets that had money in it. So I started doing this in like the late 80s. I would write out a list of goals and I'd put a piece of paper and I would take the year, and those are my goals for the year, and I'd put the list in my wallet. And to this day, I still have a list. Like, so because I look and then I'll look at it and I'll go, oh, I got to remember to do all that stuff. And I always feel proud, and I'm like, oh, wow, I did about half of this. Next year, I'll do more. But this quote, always remember, others may hate you, but those who hate you, they do not win unless you hate them. For only then will you destroy yourself. So if you hate others, it's just gonna come back on you.
It's a negative feedback loop.
Right.
You know? Like,
right. So it's just, that's something just like I sent it to him. I'll remind him. God, I sent that to him in 2013. So that was 10 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
I sent that letter to him.
Wow.
But it like, it was, look, I can't sit here and tell you I was the perfect dad. I did the best I could under the circumstances. Things didn't work out in the marriage, but I have 2 kids that aren't assholes.
That's
Have